But they still started it off with bot lane prio, so they can still start the game by playing through bottom lane, through Elkin on again, just like they always classically do. Elkin on, so good at building for...
Nicely done though by Faker to actually get some pressure there, because again this opens up Owner to start to move in towards the Rift Herald. Shun though going to try and respond by diving bot side, and Gumayushi's very low.
He really is. In fact,
oh my God.
Need him. There's the flash forward. First blood going over to On. He will be answered as Carrier locks down that kill, and now he's going aggressive. Faker moving down towards his bottom side as well. The wall comes in. Seismic shove pulls him back, and there is the answer. The 2-for-1.
So when this comes through now with the ult from Faker, Elk doesn't have any sort of flash, so cleanses the stun, but still gets hit by the flick back, and there's no way that he can get out.
Yeah, Elk and On are so... Oh, never mind.
Bin looking like he's in a little bit of trouble here towards the top side of the map. Both of these champions can tank pretty nicely. There's the flash just to make sure he can get a
Wait a sec.
Can he? The all-out comes on through as Zeus was taking the turret for around 16 years, and there is the kill back in the end.
Kill, of course, is finished off there by T1, and they're able to go 1-for-1. Faker now visited.
Yeah, if 2 didn't work, then let's bring 3. Dawning Shadow comes in. Fantastic handshake once again from On. I think that T1 might need to think about banning away that champion hostile. About these turrets being pushed into so aggressively. Owner now will be able to take his 4th grub as well, as there's another handshake from On, but T1, they're making their way in. The Ignite ticking down. Piercing Darkness not going to do as much, but he is going to be fine and get out.
They got the damage they needed to though. Faker taken low means that you can't really contest on this top side for the Void Grubs. Package picked up for Knight though means they won't have that available for that next Dragon, so curious to see if T1 will keep track of that.
Shun and Knight heading towards that top side.
Yeah, BLG made the call. We are going to wait for the next Dragon. Just trade this one, no problem. Go for Rift Herald, top side instead. Meanwhile, pretty quick rotation from T1 immediately after the Dragon, and they're going to head to try and chase them off of Rift Herald. Barely finished off, and the escape now is good.
Well, now a potential dive available, thrown back with the seismic shove as Elk is in trouble. Carrier dives forward, they take down the turret, great handshake. Another hostile takeover is going to be good, but this time, Carrier is just that little...
Doing it all points of time, but now he needs to use it again, because Knight's in trouble topside.
He certainly is.
Yeah, this is a rough one. There's a seismic shove, it's going to miss, but it gets the flash. Knight now in trouble. He's surviving for a long time, but Gumayushi, he'll have the range. Bailout not quite going to be there as Owner locks down that kill. Knock up after the cleanse. It's a disaster for Elk. T1 take 2.
Almost baited in by trying to get the bailout for Knight here. Elk, through the Q to try and get
considered using the Weaver's Wall, but T1 are just going to march their way down the mid instead.
Really good job keeping up the pressure here. Rank 2 ultimate from Wukong, who's got the level 6, or who has the package on Knight. Is he going to go?
Weaver's Wall going to try and split this fight up. There's a seismic shove. Knight, he hasn't used the package. He tries to use it defensively, but it's cut off. And now there's Stretch Armstrong. He dives into the pit. The Drake is secured here for BLG, but T1 are just rolling over the top. Ben, he can't Kazante his way out of down on both sides. Just don't do it.
Oh. Gotta say, it's not the first time we've seen Knight struggle.
I'll be able to walk up and get some extra damage onto this turret. There's the rocks, they go down. That means there's no way to counter-engage. T1 will making his way forward as well. Unstoppable used here by Bin to absorb some of that CC, but there's another Weaver's Wall that will guarantee this inner turret. I thought Faker was going to go a little bit further on that one, but instead he is going to take the safer route. Back immediately. Has to use the Fate's Call as On is going to be saved. Carrier just standing in that front line. Zeus on the flank angle. The Zac looking for that opportunity. There is the Weaver's Wall to go through. Dawning Shadow to make sure that T1 are all absolutely fine. And in goes Zeus. Doesn't find the stretching strike, but he just doesn't take damage. Knight gets a decent package this time around, but the Cyclone does absolutely nothing. Owner tries to go aggressive. Knight gets at least one there as the bailout comes in, and T1, they're just a brick wall. They're not going to be taken down. Their health bar is still above 50% On, having to get out of there. And Knight, there is just nothing left in the tank. Carrier just chasing after him, tongue at the ready, and Faker will throw the rocks at the Renata to finish off the support. Zeus, yeah, this might take some time, but I think he might be able to get it. And there it goes, just lands the slingshot.
T1, just walk over BLG.
Well, yeah, it's very slow, just walk towards that one. Gumayushi backing up his support. Carrier slinks into Fog of War once again. Bin trying to aggressively position himself, trying to get his way in. As he eats all of those rocks, there's another wall. As the Cyclone, this time into the backline, is fantastic. It lands onto Gumushi, but it's a trade of AD carries. And Zeus is buying so much space. There goes the Wukong. Zeus, is he going to take damage? Will he? Will it happen?
He will, and then he'll heal it.
Yes, so he will. He'll continue to take damage, but heals way more than he takes. As Knight is trying to hide behind the Gromp.
Where do you go?
Stay still for me, buddy. Nope, not going to work out there. Tried to be tricky.
Knight was caught between a frog and a catfish.
Oh, no.
And nowhere to go. And T1 are inside the base. They're taking Baron at the same time. Zeus says, I'll go for the end. You get the objectives.
Yep. He's not going to be killing anyone, but he does manage to take down that inhibitor turret like you were talking about. And yeah, slowly but surely. Yes. Putting his blobs against the inhibitor. Doesn't quite work out there as Keria manages to get another wave forward.
Fish and a blob. So Shun dealt with thanks to Owner and Faker. And then Knight just does not do enough damage on Corki. And there goes Shun.
Okay.
Just pop goes the Weasel.
I'm not entirely sure. We're lacking a little context there, but that is fine. 6-0-5 for Flubber. And Keria, he can lick this turret down if he would like to. And there is the Zac in once again, lands right on top of On. Just not quite able to do too much. And yes, there are 3 members of BLG now throwing sticks and all sorts of stuff towards their Zac, but he still wants to go aggressive. Bin moving forward, and he is very, very tanky, but T1 just look undeterred. They will be able to take the inhibitor towards the bottom side of the map. Just one inhibitor remaining, and Faker. T1 now have a minion wave towards this turret. Still looking for a dive attempt. Weaver's Wall does come down. That will guarantee this one. Very textbook here for T1. They'll lock that one down. Now they go aggressive. In goes Zeus. Does get Elk out of there, but now they might have an opportunity. The blob is finally going relatively low. Still has cell division. I'm pretty sure that we haven't seen it so far this game. Flash out as Shun has to avoid the seismic shove. The inhibitor does go down now, and BLG, they just can't get any lethal blows onto T1.
Yeah, they jumped the front line pretty low, but they're going back in.
All right, Zeus, he still has 100 health, so he may as well go in. There it is. Stretch Armstrong comes down. The cell division coming on forward, and he gets devoured. Never you mind. Zeus still has the passive up and available.
Oh my God.
This is just absurd. Bin going down very low. The Nexus turret's not going to last, and T1, they will even out the series against BLG.
T1 bounce back.